All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
We are a generous and welcoming people here in the United States, but those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, and they are showing disregard for those who are following the law. We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked, and circumventing the line of people who are waiting patiently, diligently, and lawfully to become immigrants in this.
Okay, what's going on, everybody? We are here. We are live. Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button. That's the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. Also, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you are new to the channel, and hit that bell notification next to the subscribe button. And lastly, but most importantly, please follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group to help circumvent social media censorship and shadow banning. That is extremely important that you do so. You will never miss a notification if you are following me on Telegram. The link to the Telegram is in the description box below, and will be pinned in the comment section as well once this stream is over. With the introduction out of the way, man, let's get into it. There was a what do you call it? A CPAC event, that happened over the weekend, right? And Tom Homan spoke there, and he had some interesting things to say concerning what's going on in Boston, right? And Massachusetts as a whole. Now, we touched on Massachusetts a little bit once before, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper into it right now. And I want to get into first what Tom Homan had to say first, because apparently the police chief in Boston doubled down on the fact that he's not going to assist or help ICE at all whatsoever. We remember the governor of Massachusetts, Maura Healey, I want to say not even a week after Trump won the presidency, she came out immediately. She was the first one to speak out and say, our law enforcement will not be assisting ICE. And then Michelle Wu, the mayor of Boston, came out saying the same thing. She would later take a moment to retract her statement a little bit because it came off as a little bit too aggressive towards the federal government, and it didn't look good. So she somewhat took a little bit of her statement back, but her statement was more or less the same as all the other DNC lunatics that we're not going to help Tom Homan get rid of public safety threats. We love our illegal immigrant gang members trained at Agua and MS-13 right in our city, terrorizing U.S. citizens, right? So let's get into what Tom Homan had to say first, and then we're going to dive into a couple other videos and articles. Let's jump into this right now, though.
I read a story last night, the police commissioner of Boston. You said you doubled down on not helping the law enforcement officers of ICE. I'm coming to Boston, I'm bringing hell with me. I looked at the numbers this morning. I stopped counting at nine child that were in jail in Massachusetts.
Just in case you didn't know what he was saying, because I had it bleeped out intentionally. 9 illegal immigrant violators, as I like to say, the R word, right? Okay, so now that we have that, I'll run it back just a little bit.
I stopped counting at nine child that were in jail in Massachusetts, but rather than honoring an I.C.E. detainer, released them back into the street. You're not a police commissioner. Take that badge off your chest, put it in the desk drawer. Because you became a politician, you forgot what it's like to be a cop. And guess what? The men and women of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, they found those predators and they're locked back up, and we're going to deport them from the United States.
Now, really think about that for a moment in the insanity of these DNC lunatics, henceforth why I always call them, refer to them as DNC lunatics, right? There were 9 illegal immigrant criminals that they had a hold of in Massachusetts, throughout the state, right? And in Boston. All 9 of them were caught and arrested for violating children. And when the ICE detainer went out and ICE said, hey, please hold on to those guys so we can come get them and deport them, what did they do in Boston and throughout the state of Massachusetts? They said, no, we want them to go out there amongst our citizen population and terrorize our communities some more. And they just released them. And I talked about this before, but I'll bring it up again very quickly. I remember all throughout the migrant crisis era, which was the Biden era, this is not a deportation era, mass deportation era, all throughout that time period, when I was going through information and going through different websites and the ICE websites, just looking for news and seeing what's going on, one of the most consistent pieces of news that I would see coming out of Boston and Massachusetts as a whole is, particularly in that state, they seem to have a very big problem with criminal illegal immigrant migrants engaging in the activity of violating children and violating women. It was very apparent when I would go through the news over there and see this over and over and over and over again. And now you see Tom Homan discussing this right now, and you're seeing the reality behind these lunatics, catching them and then releasing them after the fact, knowing that these people are monsters because they're violators of women and children. Now let's hear what the mayor of Boston, Michelle Wu, had to say, right? Let's hear what she had to say, as well as I think it's the police chief as well, because these people are crazy.
War of words between the border czar, Boston's police commissioner, as well as Boston's mayor. And this all came about this weekend when Tom Homan was addressing a conservative group in Washington.
The police commissioner of Boston, you said you doubled down on not helping the law enforcement officers of I.C.E. I'm coming to Boston. I'm bringing hell with me.
It's pretty clueless for someone to be insulting our police commissioner.
Mayor Michelle.
Notice how she's not going to make mention of the violators of women and children that they just keep releasing onto their streets. She's just going to say Tom Homan is clueless. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know how these people continue to get voted into office, but then again, I live in Los Angeles, and you can say the same thing over here. I don't know how these lunatics keep getting voted into office.
Wu is defending the city's police commissioner after Michael Cox made comments on WCVB's On the Record when it comes to holding undocumented immigrants.
We don't care about your immigration status, but what we do care about is, are you a victim of crime in our city, or are you a victimizer? Right? So we will hold you accountable for that. And that doesn't matter what your immigration status is.
Take that badge off your chest, put it in the desk drawer. Because you became a politician, you forgot what it's like to be a cop.
We want to be sure to very clearly say Boston is welcoming and safe for everyone.
On Sunday at a Vietnamese Lunar New Year celebration, the topic of immigrant fear was on the minds of those who help newly arrived immigrants and refugees across Boston.
It's really scary for many of our community.
Juan Bui came to Boston from Vietnam almost 20 years ago. She is now a Vietnamese American and is trying to calm others who have recently arrived in America.
They stop going to activity. They stop going to the store. They have to ask for help from some of the people that they know so that they can help them so that they just don't be out there in the public.
It's not.
Let's stop right there for a moment, right? Because we really don't need to carry on with this video here. I want to highlight certain things, a couple of things that they stated here, right? Number one, they said that that woman is a Vietnamese American. So I'm assuming that she's a citizen. If they're saying she's Vietnamese American, she came here 20 years ago. She probably got her paperwork together. Okay, great. Good for her. There's nothing for her to be scared of. And there's literally nothing for any immigrants who are here legally to be scared of like her. And to the degree that you have illegal immigrants there that are scared, and you should be, but I mean, because you broke the law and now you're literally a fugitive within the country. So I don't know. So, you broke federal law, but that's beside the point. My point is this: if you're going to be mad at somebody, be mad at the Boston Mayor, Michelle Wu, and the governor of Massachusetts, Maura Healey. Because this man on your screen right here has stated on an abundance of occasions that if you don't let us in the jails, then we got to hit the streets. And if we have to hit the streets, whether we're looking for you or not, if you're illegal, we're taking you in because the law is the law and you broke the law. These people are so blind that they can't see how the Democrats are using them as pawns in their game. Because they want Tom Homan and ICE to take those people away, right? Those that are not priority, just so that they can have a story to run on. Oh my God, they ripped the mother away from her child and they sent the mother back to Vietnam and look at the babies crying now. This is so awful. They can't even see that they themselves are being used. And it also goes to show how sick DNC lunatics are, that they will use anybody as collateral, including women and children, just to get a point across, a flawed political point. This idea that open borders are a good thing and illegal immigration is a good thing. These people are sick. They are sick and diabolical. But now let's get back to Boston, right? I want to get back to Boston, even though we never left Boston. But I want you to look at this here. I want to play that. I don't want to play the video first. I want to read a little bit of this article. I want to get into this article first. Look at this here. This is complete insanity. And what we're going to read here, these are the people that Maura Healey, Michelle Wu, the governor of Massachusetts, and the mayor of Boston. What we're going to see here, these are the people that, what's her name, Jasmine Crockett, are trying to protect. What we're going to see right here. Massachusetts Migrant Family Shelter Program serious incident reports reveal violations, the R word, brawls, booze since 2022. And I'll just give you, ahead of time as I'm scrolling down, this Holiday Inn right here essentially turned into a trap house. For those of you who don't know what a trap house is, it's a house that you sell drugs out of, right? Listen to this. This is what's going on over there, but none of the local officials want to cooperate. This is madness. And hit the like button if you haven't already. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. And follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. Link is in the description box below. Had to get that out there. A massive batch of serious incident reports from the Bay States Migrant Family Shelter Program is shining a light on disturbing incidents of physical and sexual assault in state-funded shelters since 2022. The thousands of pages of reports from the Massachusetts Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities were obtained through a Herald Public Records request and appeal. Now, get this, listen to this madness that everybody's trying to protect. The reports, which expose incidents of child violations, domestic violence, brawls, drunkenness, drugs, and more in the emergency housing shelter system come as Governor Maura Healey deals with the fallout from a big drug and fentanyl bust in a Revere migrant hotel. Can you see that? You see that? This is what they're protecting here. The governor recently ordered an inspection of state-run shelters after that high-profile arrest. In that shelter over there, since 2022, matter of fact, I don't even want to summarize it yet because it gets worse. I'll summarize it after I get done reading how much worse it gets. The documents show that there has been a long list of troubling incidents in the shelter system for years. That includes a father reportedly SAing and impregnating his daughter. Her father violated her multiple times, both on the journey to the US and in the US. How are you protecting monsters like this? That is crazy. This is diabolically wicked. And these are the people that they're protecting. These are the people that they're protecting. And to be real, I'm not even sure, and I wouldn't even be surprised if that wasn't her actual father. Because, and I've given the rundown of all this before, over the past year and whatnot, One of the things that was occurring at the border during the Biden era, the migrant crisis era, is that because Biden stopped the Trump era paternity testing, right? Where if you came with the child, you, the adult, that's with the child, you had to take a paternity test to make sure that it was your child. Of course, Biden stopped that. And then what you had was the cartel giving people with children discounts on transport. Let's just say it's going to cost you $15,000 to cross the border for us to get you across. And you got 2 children. You don't have $15,000. But they'll give you a discount if you give them one of your children so that they can give that child to another illegal immigrant. Because under Biden era migrant crisis, those who were considered families received priority. So I might take $5,000 off your $15,000 price if you give me your kid and I'm going to give it to somebody else. And then once they cross the border with that child, the person who crossed the border with the child that wasn't theirs, once they cross the border and end up in New York or Chicago or Denver or Boston, they look at that child and go, peace, and go off about their business and leave the child behind to fend for themselves. Now you got the mom and one kid that's in one state, and then this kid is somewhere else in a whole nother state. This is crazy, diabolically wicked. So like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't even her real father. But whether it is or isn't, it's irrelevant. It really doesn't matter because it's sick either way. But once again, these are the people that are being protected in Boston and in Massachusetts as a whole. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And these people are completely unafraid of being caught in the act of doing this stuff. Completely unafraid. Check this out right here as we round this out and bring this to a close.
That is getting high praise is Tom Homan. You saw the president on the CPAC stage saying Tom Homan is killing it. And part of the reason Tom Homan is escalating his rhetoric. In a good way. Yeah, he's killing it in a good way. That's right. I forgot. Sometimes I use young people speak. Right? I should use more diverse language for everybody.
If you don't mind.
Of all different groups. I'm not calling him old, not just yet. Middle age. A little bit later. Okay, all right.
He said earlier he's just average.
Just average.
That's all, yes.
But he's getting high remarks from the president because he thinks he's doing a good job. But Tom Homan is upset because there are some cities not abiding by federal law. And Boston is one of them. Look at this guy who the cops went after. ICE arrested him. And he's smiling. He's a gang member from Brazil, known, wanted, and not taking it seriously. I think he will once he's in Guantanamo Bay.
So he was convicted of assault and battery against a Massachusetts resident back in September, sentenced to 1 year in prison, but then released after 3 months because the city is ignoring the ICE immigration detainer.
Insane.
And police commissioner is not cooperating with ICE.
That is insanity. A known gang member, I think they said from Brazil, assaults a Boston resident, gets only 1 year, released in 3 months. ICE knew they had him. They said, hey, man, come on, please, just can you hold on to him and we're going to come get him? The Boston police chief, Mayor Michelle Wu, said, no. We're going to release him onto the population so he can terrorize our citizens and I guess catch him if you can. And eventually they caught him. And look at him. Big old smile on his face. It's a joke. It's funny. Why? Because America's soft. If you're an illegal immigrant, you come to America and do whatever you want. Violate women, violate children. As long as you're in a sanctuary city, you'll be protected. Until Tom Homan and the gang catches up with you. You see, he's smiling right now because he's stupid and doesn't really understand what's going on. He doesn't know the difference between ICE and Boston PD and so on and so forth. He's a dummy. But like they stated, he's going to find out real quick, and that smile is going to be wiped off his face really fast when he ends up in Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, he won't be smiling much longer. Reality's going to hit him then when he's in Guantanamo Bay for however long he's going to be there until eventually he gets shipped back to Brazil. But the idea that you have to, ICE and Tom Homan and the gang have to track people like this down themselves, and you have psychos like Michelle Wu and the police chief who can't just cooperate on the most basic level concerning a common sense issue like this, it defies logic to me how anybody can keep voting for these kind of people. And at this point, I'm not so sure if they still will. Honestly, because if you've seen the latest approval rating of Democrats, it went down, if I'm not mistaken. I've been meaning to do a video about it. The Democrat approval rating for the last week or so was like 31%. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Democrat approval rating dropped down to like 21% now. 20 or 21%. It's just dropping and dropping and dropping like a brick out of the sky because of stories like this, news and information like this, where just on the most common sense basic level, they won't cooperate. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully these people will get voted out. You always see in the comment section, these people got to get voted out, but they never seem to get voted out. We'll see how things go in Boston. We'll see how things go here in California where I am, because the word on the street is Kamala Harris is going to be running for governor over here. But the bright side is that she's so garbage that she just might actually be the reason that we get a Republican governor just because no one's going to vote for her. But then again, once again, I mean, who knows? This is California. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyways, that does it for today's show. that does it for today's stream. So thank you guys for joining me today. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms. Telegram. I can't beg you guys enough to follow me on Telegram. If you don't have Telegram, download it. It's free. Follow me at TD Media Group. You won't miss a notification. You don't have to say, hey, I don't know what happened. YouTube unsubscribed me. Well, if you follow me on Telegram, you don't have to worry about that stuff. Now, lastly, let me give my shout outs to the people that showed love on the channel today, because I don't exist without you guys' support. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Shout out to my man, John Gullery, for 21 months of service. I appreciate you, bro. He says, salute to TD. Keep up the good work. I definitely will, bro. Thank you so much for the support. My man, Benton Jr. Bay, always coming through. He said they must be getting paid some way, somehow. A lot of people say that like some of these mayors and governors are compromised by the cartel. You know, that they're being paid by the cartel. I wouldn't be surprised. And my man, John Gullery, spun the block, came through with a $20 super chat. I appreciate you, bro. He said, have support, my boy TD. I'm at my little man I'm at my little man's tryouts for the illegal migrants' favorite sport, football, aka soccer. Excuse me. I mean, cough, cough, running away from ICE agents. I thank you, John Gullery. I appreciate you, bro. And he also gifted a channel membership. I appreciate you, man, for all the support, bro. And thank you all for joining me today. I gotta head out of here and pick my son up from school and not be late as I always am. And he's gonna be pissed off at me. So I'll catch you guys later, man. Peace, and have a buzzer beater. Cynthia Haynes, swish. With 0 seconds left on the clock, said the demo rats are so sickening to me. I know they are. That's why I call them DNC lunatics, but that's me keeping it light, you know? That's me keeping it light. Anyways, thank you guys for the support. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video on your social media platform, and also Telegram, okay? Peace, and have a great afternoon.